Welcome, everybody, to Nightmare Echoes. Listen, scream, and embrace your horror obsession. I'm your host, Elazar, and I'm joined again by my wonderful co-host, Margot.
Hello.
Today, we are continuing the world of Cloverfield with its second installment, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and hope to answer the question, was it scarier inside or outside the bunker? Do you know where the missing puzzle pieces were? Because I do. And who was the voice on the phone playing her ex-boyfriend, Ben? Thank you for tuning in. Hello again, and welcome to Nightmare Echoes. I'm your host, Elazar, and I'm joined by Margot.
Hey.
Margot, what are we covering today?
10 Cloverfield Lane.
All right, it was directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who also did the latest Predator installment called Prey, which was amazing.
I've heard it's good. Yeah.
And then a short film called No Escape. It was produced by J.J. Abrams. So the first Cloverfield was directed by Matt Reeves.
It's J.J. Abrams' production company, Bad Robot, though.
Right, yeah, he produced them all, right? So the script came to him, to Bad Robot, and it originally wasn't a 10 Cloverfield Lane, or it wasn't a Cloverfield movie.
Oh.
And when reading the script, J.J. Abrams noticed a lot of similarities to kind of the ideas of Cloverfield and thought it would fit as a kind of spin-off sequel, kind of not a direct sequel, it's definitely not found footage. And he thought it would be a good thing to include. But none of the actors filming it had any idea it was a Cloverfield movie until 3 days before the trailer dropped. Mm-hmm. And that's when they all find out, which is kind of cool. It's starring Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who was in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Death Proof, Live Free or Die Hard, Birds of Prey, that one with Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Yeah, she played the night.
The Huntress.
Not Knights. I was going to say Night Stalker. Yeah, Huntress. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also The Thing prequel and Final Destination 3 for horror movies. John Goodman is Howard, and he was in Arachnophobia. That was his only other horror credit, but obviously
I mean,
he's really
a lot
famous.
of other movies. Yeah.
Right. But Roseanne and the Connors are pretty,
Yeah.
pretty big deal. And then John Gallagher Jr. as Emmett. He does a lot of stage acting.
I didn't recognize him.
Yeah. It had a budget of somewhere between $13 and $15 million, but made $110.2 million in the box office.
Yeah, I guess it was really only like how many rooms, right?
In the movie? Yeah.
So I mean,
there's Michelle's room, the hallway, the common room, Howard's private area,
and then the
air vent room.
Air vent room. Yeah. So
it's like 5 rooms. Yeah.
No special effects needed for the most part in those rooms, Yeah.
The original script was called The Cellar. All right. So before spoiling the whole thing, did you want to say anything about the movie?
No, we can get right into it.
All right. We're going to spoil it, guys. Okay. So.
Oh, should I say if it's scary or not? No.
Yeah.
It's like suspenseful.
Sure.
Now, I already, before watching it, knew I knew it was a Cloverfield movie already.
Yeah.
Like the whole tension of the movie is how crazy is John Goodman, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I guess I still didn't know, but I knew that he was right that there was something outside the bunker.
Even though he sounds crazy the whole movie.
Yeah. I mean, we can get into is he crazy or not, but he was right that there was something going on for sure. And I knew that from the beginning of the movie, which I wonder if would have been a different experience.
Walking in for me then, not knowing what to expect or not, I was definitely confused. I'm like, how is this a Cloverfield movie? Mm-hmm. But there would be times where I'm like, look, he's obviously protecting you, Michelle. Like, just show him a little bit of respect. But then there's times where he'd snap, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not okay in the head.
Yeah.
So
but we can get into it and like talk about the moments that we're like, ooh, maybe.
All right. So we're gonna go through the whole plot and hopefully answer some of those questions we talked about earlier. So the movie starts. It's basically all score for the first 10 or so minutes. Mm-hmm. Michelle doesn't say a word. We see everything through her distress of her face, her acting with her body.
She's like packing she's like packing and she's like doing it in a hurry. Yeah.
a frantic way. She packs some alcohol.
Yeah, they do like a really loving shot on this scotch. It's like, what is it? Glen Goblin or whatever. Right. I don't know about scotch, but like it's a famous brand. It's like very, very expensive.
Right. She walks by it, and when she passes by, it's no longer there.
I'm sure a lot of people were really angry with me saying, calling it that, because that's not what the name is, but whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's alcohol.
The whole movie, I'm like, when is this scotch coming into play? Because it's like a very loving shot on the scotch.
Yeah.
I mean, it was product placement.
Yeah. And so as she packs her bags, there's an interesting little tidbit where she has to use a screwdriver to open a drawer.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
That was just weird, really little detail.
Yeah.
But as she leaves, she looks back and we see that she has left her engagement ring.
Oh, well, and also she gets a phone call and she seems to like hesitate to answer it.
Right.
Or does she call somebody on the phone?
I think she calls somebody else.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, that's right.
And I think
so she ignores a phone call, but then she calls someone else at the end. But you don't hear her saying anything.
And who she called is cut from the script.
Oh, okay.
Because they thought it detected.
Yeah, you didn't really need any.
Yeah, you didn't need it. But it was another man that she called. And in the original ending, if I could just jump to the way the script was written, is after she got out of the cellar, she found a bunch of text messages, like her phone pinged and downloaded all the text messages that this man had sent her, that he's in danger and where he was hiding. And so she was going to drive the car to go find him.
Is she like having an affair?
I don't know.
Or
but maybe.
Oh.
But.
Or is it just like.
But the director and even J.J. Abrams thought it took away from her the whole point of her story to make it all about a man. Oh, I'm trying to escape. To get to another man.
Yeah.
So they completely edited that out of the script.
I just assumed it was like her mom or something that she's calling to say she's on her way or whatever.
So now she's in the car driving. We see her pull over to a gas station, which is a Kelvin station, which I recognized because the Kelvin timeline is what they call the Star Trek universe that J.J. Abrams is in charge of. Because George Kirk, James Kirk's father, was captain of the USS Kelvin. But it goes deeper than that, and the Kelvin is like one of Bad Robot's production companies inside of it.
Oh,
like like an art design company or something like that.
Okay. So it was like a little Easter egg.
Right, exactly. And then also at the gas station, advertising instead of slushies, they have Slush-O, which also was said in Star Trek, but goes further back that Slush-O was a brand of drink in Alias.
Oh, funny.
Which I thought was cool. But when she's gassing up, a truck pulls up and she gets really nervous, and we just see her continue to gas and then get back on the road. On the road, she gets a call from Ben. She answers it. And this
was the truck John Goodman's truck?
It's so
we don't
right
see it,
now,
right?
We can't tell.
I guess we can
assume
wonder,
it was.
Or we can wonder.
But it was so dark that we couldn't. I think we would have been able to see if it was yellow.
Yeah, I don't know.
But on the phone is Ben, who's calling her, telling her that
like fiance
people get in fights. Right. Her ex-fiance. And do you know who the voice was?
No.
Bradley Cooper.
That's hilarious.
Because J.J. Abrams...
Bradley Cooper in Alias.
Yeah, exactly. So J.J. Abrams was like, oh, I bet you Bradley would do it. So he called him up, asked him, hey, will you... He told him what the whole idea of the message would be. Asked him if he would just record it and send it so he could be in the movie for it. And Bradley Cooper agreed. He recorded it on his phone and then emailed it to J.J. Abrams, and they just played it. But Michelle, the actress, didn't know who was going to be on that other end. When they did it in the script, there was actually another man calling and played it, and they replaced his voice with Bradley Cooper's, which I thought was really interesting.
Funny. I did not recognize his voice. That's really funny.
And then, so she hangs up on him. She keeps driving. He calls again. She looks down the phone, and all of a sudden, she hit.
Yeah.
Her car spins around horizontally 3 times before going off the road and then flipping over 3 times. And the whole time it's doing it, it's cutting to the title card, a Bad Robot production. It goes back to the crash, and then it cuts to 10 Cloverfield Lane. And then the L and the F in 10 Cloverfield Lane extend up and down or Cloverfield, the word Cloverfield, extend up and down to give us the 10 on the top and the lane on the bottom. It's like the way they did the title card.
I did not notice that. I must have looked away. Maybe I did notice it. I just didn't care.
Yeah, I thought it was neat. But yeah. And then all of a sudden, Michelle wakes up. She's in an underground room, lying in a bed. She has an IV bag of normal saline running in her arm.
Yeah.
And
why does he have normal saline bags, but no other? It doesn't seem like he has any other medicine, right? But we just didn't see it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He's definitely a doomsday prepper. He said she was getting dehydrated and she needed fluid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he knew enough not to just give her water in an IV bag, right?
Oh, yeah, that would kill you.
Right. So,
well, I guess it depends on how much, but yeah.
Right.
How much you get.
So, she quickly notices she has a brace on her leg, and that brace is handcuffed to the wall. She tries to really play it, freeing it, but she can't break it.
Why was that? Do you know? Was it just so she doesn't move around?
I think he didn't want her to freak out when she woke up and
hurt
her
herself
leg more.
Okay, because he doesn't ever explain it. But as soon as she wakes up, we're about to get to this. He like unchains her.
Yeah, he comes in the room, and
Chuck comes in the room. He I was seeing hi, don't be scared. I just changed you up because he doesn't say any of this, by the way. I just changed you up so you wouldn't rent your knee when you got up. I'm gonna unlock you and explain everything. You know? Right. No. None of that is said.
Yeah. She's all like, "What are you gonna do to me?" He's like, "I'm gonna keep you alive." Yes. But it doesn't sound like a good way.
No.
For what? Why are you keeping me alive for? Exactly. I don't want to be your slave. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, but he does bring her food and he unlocks her cuff or whatever and he gives her crutches.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it's 10 minutes into the movie before we hear her speak at all. Mm-hmm. Right. And yeah, he gives her crutches, tells her to get really good at those. He said that she was in a bad crash and he saved her. And then he gives her the key to unlock herself.
Mm-hmm. But she had done something. She'd not taken out her IV, gotten the pole to get her stuff closer to her. Oh, I think she just got her phone.
She was trying to call for help, but there was no bars underground.
Yeah, there was no signal.
Yeah. But as he leaves, he locks the door again. Yeah. So he freed her, but he locked her in her room, which is wait, what?
Yeah.
So while she's there, she's continually planning. The whole movie, she's planning an escape.
Yeah.
So right away, she takes the crutch.
Well, I think there's a little part where she's not.
Yeah. For a bit.
But yeah, for most of the movie, yeah.
Yeah. So she takes the handcuff key and uses it to whittle the bottom of one of the crutches into a steak.
Yeah.
She waits by the door, which seems like forever for him to come back.
How long would you wait and then be like, oh,
she got tired eventually.
Feel like, yeah.
And then she dug through her stuff, realized she had some matches, and she wrapped around part of the blanket, I guess, around.
Yeah, I'm like, why is this so? She laid it on fire, and I'm like, why is it so flammable? Does it have that whatever they used to put on kids' clothes? A burn up or whatever, the chemical, because I'm like, why? How is that catching on fire? I don't think you can catch it on fire.
Right.
But whatever.
So yeah, she sets a fire.
She
puts it in the vent.
Yeah.
He runs in, but he dodges her attack really easily. She's screaming. By the way, she was choking on this fire before he came to rescue her.
I remember, I think I said?
Just suffocate.
Just suffocate yourself to death. Yeah.
And then he's able to jab her with some medicine that instantly knocks her
so I guess
out.
he does have some other medicine.
Yeah.
I don't know why he'd have some knockout medicine in his doomsday prep or whatever.
So she wakes up again. She says that her boyfriend was looking for her. He's going to call the cops. He tells her there's no one out there. There's no one looking for her. He tells her there's been an attack. He doesn't know what kind of attack. And to her, he just sounds crazy, right?
Well, is this when he starts listing no, he doesn't start saying what he thinks it was yet, right? He just says that there was some kind of chemical attack and they can't go outside and it's too dangerous and everyone's dead.
Yeah. She asks where she is. He says they're 40 miles outside of Lake Charles and that she says she was driving north of here.
Louisiana.
Yeah. He tells her she was in an accident. Her car flipped over and he saved her life by bringing her here. She tells him thank you and that she needs to go to a hospital now. And he gets frustrated. He's like, look, you can't go anywhere. The air outside is contaminated and we're probably going to be here for 1 to 2 years, depending on where the nearest blast was.
Yeah. It's this point where there's a noise outside the room and he has to go.
Oh, yeah. So, there's a ruckus that happens out there. He runs out. He yells at someone who we haven't even met yet. He sounds a little crazy. He's like, what'd you do? Yeah. What'd you do? Then he comes back in and he says he's going to tell her what he told him, that you need to eat, that you need to sleep, and you need to show me a little bit of appreciation. And he tells her his name is Howard, and then he locks her in. You said, maybe start with, hey, my name's Howard.
Yeah. Hey, I know this is scary. My name is Howard. I only locked you up so you wouldn't rent your knee. Let me come unlock it for you. So you're safe. No.
So now that she's alone in her room, she hears a car driving past on the surface. She gets on her crutches. She exits the room because the door is now open. And she scares another man who was sleeping out there. And he offers her
there's like shells,
food.
like food shells with like dry food. And he's just like in a little alcove.
Yeah, he's sleeping between them.
Yeah.
One of his arms is in a sling. She asks what this place is, and he says it's a bunker. He says at least she gets a room, even though it's a fixer-upper, because he doesn't, and that she has a door.
Yeah.
Even if it's a really scary metal one.
Yeah, so I guess, I was confused this whole time until towards the end, but I guess she was there before he was.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, because they were out driving, they hadn't been attacked yet. So she and Dunkelman were out driving. Then after she got in her accident, he came and got her and then locked himself inside. Well, we later we can go on because he comes in after.
Right. He fights his way in. Right. So right then Howard walks in. He sees that she's met Emmett. When she asks what happened to Emmett, Howard doesn't let Emmett speak and says he did it to himself, which makes her not believe that he did it because he didn't let him speak. And then he goes on to say that Emmett caused that ruckus earlier, wasting a week's worth of food, but he's really sorry for it. Then Howard tells her that it's bathroom time and she needs to follow him. Yeah.
Has Emmett told her why he's there yet or no?
He did say that he fought to get in, I think.
Well, basically he's saying he's there voluntarily. He didn't get kidnapped. Yeah.
Right. Because she's like, hey, how do we escape? He goes, he didn't tell you?
Yeah.
Out there is
we
toxic.
Can't.
You can't leave.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to be here. So this is where he shows her the common area for the first time. He's saying that he's prepared for a really long stay. He's got aquaponics system that cleans the air and keeps it fresh. We see he has a fish tank in the room. Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of books for them to read. And if they like movies, he's got DVDs and VHS cassettes. Mm-hmm. The camera pans. We see that he has a jukebox and a kitchen, which is fully functional. And he describes all the amenities to her. He says that the table is a family heirloom, and so they need to wash their glasses. They always use coasters and placemats at all times.
Yeah. Looks pretty cozy.
At this point, Michelle starts to trip because she's not good at the crutches yet, and Emmett runs to try to help her, by grabbing her arm, and Howard kind of freaks out, saying, "No touching."
Don't touch her.
Yeah. And he backs off. Howard tells Emmett to have a seat, walks Michelle into his private area, points to where the bathroom is. It's like a shower toilet combo with a curtain there, and he tells her to go, and she says she can't when he's there. And
at this point, I have to say, at this point, I'm like, where is the bathroom? Are they just never going to go to the bathroom? Because, but yeah, here we go. We're going to the bathroom.
Right. So she says she doesn't have to go, and he's like, well, you will eventually, and we have to space this thing out because they only have one. Mm-hmm. She says she needs privacy, and he says that he can't trust her not to burn the place down because she just did try.
Yeah.
And he goes, he's not some pervert. He's trying to protect his life too. Just close the curtain. Use the bathroom. So she goes behind it, and we see as she closes it, there's a big cute duck on the curtain. It's purple and yellow.
Yeah. Like that duck.
It's a cute duck.
It's a cute duck.
Afterwards, she's out in the common room, and she's looking at some magazines, and Howard says that they belong to Megan, that she would go everywhere with 2 or 3 of those at all times. Michelle asks who Megan is, and he just says that she isn't with us anymore. The lights blink, and Howard says it's just the generator, and Michelle asks, what if it's a car outside? Howard says it's not possible because whoever would be driving that would be dead, and she asks if they've tried to call the police or anyone else to find out what really happened. And Howard shows her the CB radio, saying nothing's coming through that CB radio, so obviously no one's alive. And I'm like,
but that doesn't make sense because, spoiler, but at the end of the movie, she goes on the AM radio, and there's people on the radio.
But is that what the CB does? AM stations?
It should pick up AM stations, I would think.
Sure, but I don't think he's ever trying.
Maybe not.
Like
Maybe
he's on a frequency that no one used. He never turned the dial.
I guess that's true. I always wondered why they never tried to use the radio.
I think he would just get mad at them.
I don't know. They didn't show it, so who knows?
Right. He goes on the speech about preparedness and is attempting to not sound crazy, but I think he just sounds crazy.
Well, also, he's saying, it could be, I don't know what it was. It could be nuclear. It could be chemical. It could be the Martians. And then you're like, oh, no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then he tells her it's time for her to meet Frank and Mildred.
Oh, yeah, because she doesn't believe him. So he wants to prove it to her that it's not safe to go outside.
So they go up these stairs. He tells her to go up, and then he unlocks 3 padlocks to get out the first inner door. And then there's a second, the outer door, which he says is to remain locked at all
it's
times.
like a makeshift airlock kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and no one comes in or out.
Yeah.
And when she looks over, she does see 2 pigs laying in the dirt, and they look like something is eating away at their flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And when she asks what happened, he tells her that they weren't as lucky as she is. When she looks out the truck, she sees that there's scratches on the side of the truck, and she remembers the truck hitting her.
Yeah, so she's like,
crash.
oh, he hit. So now she still doesn't trust him anymore because she thinks that he crashed into her, which he did, but.
Right, he did, right. Later, she's back in her room, and Emmett comes in bringing some magazines. He tells her he's done all the quizzes already.
Oh, I think this is the point where she like really learns that he really wanted into this bunker.
Yeah. She asked what he knows about Harold. He said he used to work on the
satellites.
Yeah, I mixed the words.
In the Navy on satellites.
Thank
yeah.
But he doesn't know much more than that. She keeps asking him questions, and he said that Howard bought the property years back, and he didn't really pay attention to it until Howard hired him to help him set up the bunker. He adds that Howard's kind of a black belt in conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Michelle tells him that she was kidnapped by Howard. And he says that he heard himself trying to break in, that while he set up this place all the time, he always heard like all these conspiracy theories, but he knows that now the air is toxic. Michelle doesn't believe him, thinking that
he says that he saw it happen too.
Yeah.
He saw some kind of explosion happen in the distance or something.
Right. And he's like, it was something biblical, like a bright red light. And so she's like, you saw lightning?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not explaining it right. It was out there. I know it wasn't natural. It was something out there. And I knew that when I got here, I saw Harold trying to close the door. He looked frantic, and I could see it in his eyes that something bad was happening. Yeah. So I hurt myself trying to get it through this door.
Right. So Harold does not want
right.
there.
She then tells him that she heard that car above earlier, but he doesn't believe it's possible. Right then, Harold comes behind them saying that, look, I told him the air is toxic and dinner is ready. So they're all 3 sitting at the table, and it's really awkward. This is this crazy scene where she's coming up with another plan while he tells...
Well, she's like has keys clipped to his pants.
And Emmett's trying to keep this conversation going because it's awkward.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to lighten the mood. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
and Howard gets really upset that he's joking around about like if they start a Monopoly game now, 2 years from now.
Well, he's joking about like
how long it takes.
Yeah, like since we're stuck in here for so long, we might as well do a Monopoly game. And Howard gets mad because he's like, it's not funny.
Yeah, and he speaks for Michelle, saying that she doesn't find it funny either. But then you could see that Michelle's like working in her brain. She's eyeing the keys, so she starts sort of pushing the border of like flirting, but she's being really friendly with Emmett. She asks him to pass him a napkin. They're not far from her. Then asks him to pass the salt and the pepper. She touches his hand. She starts joking about board games too, and then Howard gets really mad, slams his hand on that heirloom, family heirloom.
Yeah.
And so she gets up and backs off, and he jumps up, puts his body really close to her.
Yeah, he's like threatening her.
Emmett tries to jump up to defend her. He tells him to sit down and shut up.
Yeah, basically he's like, what are you? You're doing something. What are you doing?
Right.
Like, why are you doing that?
So in all this, she is able to, by the time they sit back down, you see that she has the keys in her hand.
Yeah.
Earlier, at the beginning of the scene, he had used the keys to pop open like an orange soda.
Yeah.
And he shared that among them. So he's holding the next orange soda, and we know we have a time limit here before he notices that.
Yeah, she has the keys.
Because he's got to use that to open the next one.
Yeah. So another plan successful for her.
Up to this point, right?
Yeah.
So he does say something like, we got to stay hydrated, and he goes for the keys, notices they're not there. Right at that moment, we hear another car drive over them.
Yeah.
She grabs the empty bottle that they already used, the orange soda. It's glass, smashed it over his head.
She just smashes the glass, shatters that glass bottle right over his head. But I guess he doesn't have a concussion from that. She has very strong arms.
Yep.
Extremely strong arms.
Must have looked, I don't know.
And his head is just as hard as like a concrete
They are
floor.
Strong enough for her to jump over the table, though.
Yeah, she like leaps over the table.
And she runs up the stairs. She's able to unlock the first door.
Yeah.
Howard gets through. She closes it just before
she locks
he gets
it.
there,
Yeah,
and
so you
locks
can't get in
inside. So she has the keys, but she's in this kind of like anti-room airlock.
Right. And then she
room.
sees a car pull up, and she's like, oh yay, I'm in here. And then a woman gets out and runs into the window and is like, obviously something's messed up with her. Her face is like burned or something. And she's like, let me in.
Yeah, Howard's like, don't let her in. Look at her face. She's like, but we can help her. And she's like, do not let her in.
And she keeps saying, it barely touched me.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, what touched her?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what touched her? And eventually she doesn't let her in. She's like, let me in, bitch. And then she starts slamming her forehead against the glass, putting blood on it. And then we cut to Michelle in her room, sitting there again. We hear that the door's been locked again. Howard comes in. He replaces one of her light bulbs. So the room up until this point was a certain kind of dullness. Then adding another light bulb, the director said, this is the point where we lit it up a little bit to symbolize now she trusts Howard a little more. Yeah. Because she knows, okay, something is really wrong out there.
He's right. He's not keeping us in here for nothing. And this is the part of the movie where she seems to kind of believe Howard. I mean, I think she does believe him.
Right. Well, he confesses to her that he was responsible for the accident.
And I think that was very important. He's like, hey, I have a confession. I'm the one who hit you. I was driving frantically because I knew I had to get to the bunker. It was going too fast and I hit you. And that's why I like took you out.
He says this line, I know I seem like a sensible guy.
Yeah. Wait, what?
The director didn't realize how funny audiences would find that. But one of the other people working on the film said that's a really funny line. And he didn't see it until they started screening it. And every time it was said, the audience laughed. Nervous laughed. Like,
yeah, real sensible.
But then he gives her some more clothes, tells her she should shower because he wasn't sure how.
It was his Michelle? What was his? Megan.
Megan's.
It's Megan's clothes.
Yeah.
Which does he say that it's his daughter? No, not yet.
Or not yet. Right after the shower, right? So the shirt has Paris on it. It's like something in French, but it says Paris.
Yeah, it says Je t'aime Paris or something like that. Right. I don't remember. Yeah.
And right after the shower, Howard says he recognizes the woman in the car and he believes her name is Leslie. I think the credits just credit her as the woman.
Okay.
But I'm going to call her Leslie because it's the best name to get.
Yeah.
He says that other people probably know about this bunker and they'll probably try to get in there too. He pulls out these supplies, says that he's going to need stitches, and looks at her and she's hesitant. But he walks her through it. He pours her some homemade vodka, which tastes horrible. He teaches her how to put it on the rocks by getting an air compressed can and freezing it.
Yeah. And then he tells a story about how when he was in the Navy, they would freeze the door knob for the bathroom and lock their commanding officer in there.
Yeah.
So.
And then he uses the alcohol to clean the needle.
Yeah. I think you should light it on fire too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It burns off the alcohol and kills everything. I would do that personally, but you have to let the alcohol dry. I don't think you let the alcohol dry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then she sews him up. And
he finds out that she likes to.
He gives her the box of stuff.
Well, and they find her sketchbook. She sketches like clothing, and she said she liked to do fashion, and he's like, oh, that's why you did a good job stitching me up or whatever. Okay, so is this when he tells her Megan's his daughter?
Yeah, she asked the question. He goes into the room, gets a picture of Megan, or who he's saying is Megan.
Well, spoiler, although this is all spoilers.
Right?
Yeah. So this is my daughter Megan. She loved France.
Yeah. She would always say, when I asked what do you want to do when you grow up, she said she wanted to be French. So later she's in her room and Emmett's on the other side trying to comfort her about the woman, and they're talking through the door, kind of.
Yeah.
And she starts talking about regrets. And he tells the story of how he was so bad at school that he became really good at track to make himself successful. Mm-hmm. And after 3 years of all-state track, he got a full ride to
Louisiana
college.
Tech.
Yeah, Louisiana Tech. But because he was so afraid that when he got there, everybody would be smarter than him.
And the big city Ruston.
I used
to live in Louisiana, but no shade on Ruston.
And so she tells the story of how her father was abusive, but her brother would always be around to take the abuse for her.
Yeah.
So that so she wouldn't get hurt. And then later on in life, she's an adult. She's in a hardware store. She sees a little girl being treated the same way by her father. She's really slow. Her father keeps yanking on her arm. When she trips, the father hits her. And Michelle wasn't able to bring herself to protect the little girl, and all she did was run, which is unfair. Then this is where we get the montage scene, which was in the trailer of the movie, a lot of it.
Yeah.
But they play, I think, We're Alone Now by Tommy James and the Shondells. They pour out a puzzle. They all take turns at it.
Puzzles. They're playing life.
Yeah. Michelle gives her room a makeover. Mm-hmm. They're watching Cannibal Airlines, which is
that a real movie?
No. So I found an article on slashfilm.com that tells that Rob Schrab and Dan Harmon, who they co-wrote Monster House, were always making fake VHS cassettes with covers and sending them into Bad Robot as possible fake film ideas. And J.J. Abrams had this stack for them that they submit. And what's funny is there's other examples like Shark Hotel, Wizard Vigilante. Yeah, they're so bad.
That's right.
And Assault with a Mummified Weapon, which shows a mummy holding like a AK-47.
Wait, Wizard, what is it?
Wizard Vigilante.
Wizard Vigilante.
All these can be purchased on T-shirts on tpublic.com.
Oh, that's really funny. I kind of want Wizard Vigilante.
I want this, the Cannibal Airlines. I want this Cannibal Airlines because they sell it in an orange shirt that really makes the cover. But the bottom tagline is "You are the in-flight meal." So stupid. They also play the game of life, and then they're cooking together during the scene. The song ends and we see that Emmett has finished as much of the puzzle as possible, but there's still pieces missing. Michelle's drawing over the photos in a magazine, a new fashion trend for the post-apocalyptic world. Okay, so these puzzle pieces.
Yeah.
Do you know? I mean, there's no way watching the movie you would know where they were at. But they're just like Cloverfield. Mm-hmm. They had augmented reality games to go with the movie. Funny. So if you're playing these augmented reality games, there's a character who finds a disaster kit that Howard left for Megan in case she came by looking for them. And in there was MREs and other like safety supplies, but also puzzle pieces. And I think the puzzle pieces were supposed to say like, you know where I'm at? I'm in the bunker where this puzzle's at. Oh. But that's like, it happened like if you were doing this stuff before the movie and then you went to go watch the movie, you'd be like, oh, I know where the puzzle pieces are. Oh, but if you didn't, it would just be a mystery. It's a
classic experience to do a puzzle and you're like, where the F is the puzzle pieces?
Exactly. And there's nothing you can do about it, right?
So I'm a little bit of a dictator when it comes to doing puzzles. Like it irritates when people are doing it the wrong way. And my sister doesn't like doing the puzzle until the puzzle's almost complete. So now it's really easy to put the pieces in. And I've threatened her many a times. I'm like, you best not be hiding the last piece. Because a few times she's just like, haha. And I'm like, I hate you so much. And my family usually makes me do like the suck parts of the puzzle. And then they like, will come on in at the end. They're like, I hate you.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. So Emmett looks at the post-apocalyptic photos that Michelle was drawing, and he says that maybe instead the character in the drawing should have chainsaw
or an axe.
And she says, why? She's got a shotgun. He goes, maybe in case on the surface there are zombies. And then he says that even Howard doesn't believe that one is real. Yeah. Which I think is funny because he believes Martians are real.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Martians are science and zombies are magic.
Some of them are science.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to have this debate for the millionth time, but are those really zombies? Or
right, just then the room starts shaking. It seems like an earthquake. They call for Howard right away. Howard comes in saying that they'll be fine.
It kind of sounds like a helicopter.
Right, and Emmett comments that. Like, it sounds like a helicopter.
Yeah, I thought that too.
And Howard says it might be military, but it's probably not our own. That the attacks in the beginning seemed like the way you would take out someone's big population centers. And then what these are little scout ships that would come and eliminate any signs of life. And that's us. Mm-hmm. And then we see that the air vent starts to stop. Howard tries to get through this big door to go up to it, but it's blocked. So they have to use Michelle to crawl through this little air vent because she's the only one that would fit.
Yeah. At this point, I'm like, something for me. Something for me to do in the apocalypse because I'd be useless otherwise. But I'm small. I can crawl through air ducts. I mean, not real air ducts that are not that big. But
as
like
Howard would say,
movie air ducts.
You would learn to cook, Marco.
I mean, I guess I can cook fine. I'm not an amazing cook, but I know how to cook.
Right. So she crawls through.
I guess I can practice my drawing.
There's a part where she thinks it's dead end, but Howard tells her that's just where it ascends. She gets to this other area in the bunker that they couldn't get to. Yeah, it's this room. While she's in there, she does what they told her. She turns it off, turns it on, turns it off, turns it off again. But then because she's always planning.
Just fix it, yeah.
She's always planning how to escape.
She sees like a window.
a ladder.
Like a skylight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she climbs that to skylight. She's looking outside and she sees carved into the glass a letter. As she pulls back the thing, she sees that the word help is carved there and there's blood in it. As she climbs back down, she steps on something and we don't see what it is right away. But when she gets back there, she sees Emmett and he can tell something's wrong. And she thinks that Howard did something to his daughter. And Emmett's like, no, his family moved up to Chicago years ago. Then she shows her the earring. He sees that there's blood on it. And she goes in the room to show her the picture of Megan.
Who has those earrings? She's wearing the earrings.
Right. But then this is where Emmett says, that's not Megan, that's Brittany. She went to school with my little sister and she went missing 2 years ago. And the news covered her disappearance, but most people thought she just skipped town. Michelle asks if anybody ever found her and then says that Howard told me to my face that this was his daughter.
So now we're like, oh no. So like this movie really takes you on a roller coaster ride on whether or not you should believe John Goodman, because at first he seems nutsy. Yeah, and then the woman dies and you're like, well, maybe he actually, like, he does know what's going on.
Right.
And now you're like, oh, and maybe he's a little bit of a psychopath.
Yeah.
Because he seems to have abducted this woman.
Right. So they put the photo up and they close the book, but then this Polaroid falls out.
Yeah.
And you see Brittany sitting on a couch with him. He's smiling and she looks freaked out.
Yeah.
On this couch. And she is wearing the same shirt that Michelle is now wearing.
Yeah.
Right. And so they put it away before he comes in. Howard comes in saying that was a lot of good teamwork, and teamwork puts him in the mood for music. And then he tells Michelle that she should shower because she doesn't know what she got into when she was up there.
Yeah.
So then we cut to them talking a little bit later. Michelle goes to Emmett and shows her picture in a magazine, which we don't get to see right away. And she goes, I think I could do this. He reads 10 ways to style my bangs. And she's like, no, the other picture. And she goes, I think I can make one, but only one. So we don't see what it is right away. We do cut to Howard in what looks like nighttime, like he's designed the common room to get dimmer at certain hours so they can fake day and night, which I think is cool. And he's watching
Pretty in Pink.
Emmett comes in to get a glass of water, but really he's stealing scissors, and he puts them in his arm brace.
Use the scissors?
Huh?
I guess not. Like, are they not allowed to use the scissors?
I don't know. I wonder.
Because you see Emmett making a little collage earlier. Was he not using scissors?
Right. I wonder, but it depends because we go back and forth on how crazy is Howard. If Michelle could have taken another approach and been like, hey, I want you to train me on all this preparedness,
Yeah.
Can I read some of these books? I'd like to try to think of this. What if something fails and we need to run? Can I build these suits for us to leave one day?
Or like even like, hey, do you mind? Oh, they might not want to use their supplies. Oh, but they need the shower curtain. I was gonna say, or like, hey, do you mind? Yeah, you're right. I do wonder again. Yeah, Howard is unstable, but I wonder if they'd been more upfront with him a little bit. Not we're trying to escape,
but we're trying to prepare for the future.
Yeah.
If this fails one day.
Yeah, would he be more up for it?
Maybe.
Especially if it was for
preparedness.
What's her name?
Oh, Michelle.
Not Michelle. Is Michelle her name?
Yeah, Michelle's her name.
Oh, yeah.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead is the actor's name.
Oh my god. Especially if it was for Michelle, because he's very protective of her.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might have been up for it. But he also might have been like, why are you preparing to escape? You can't escape. Right. So who knows?
So Emmett, after getting a glass of water and the scissors, says he's not trying to tell him how to run the place. But he plants it in his head that because Michelle was up there, she might be more contaminated than we think. And while, yes, she did take a shower, maybe all that contamination got all over the bathroom. Just a food for thought. And he walks away. And then we do cut to Howard taking the shower curtain down with gloves and throwing it down the garbage
trash chute or whatever. Yeah.
So to get rid of it. And then we see them fishing it back up later.
Yeah, they do. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. How they do it without Howard noticing.
I don't know.
No
Whatever.
idea.
It's fine. But yeah, they fish it back out.
Yeah. And then we get to another awkward scene where they're playing a board game where they have to guess a phrase.
Playing like password or something. Yeah.
They have to guess a phrase within a minute time limit with clues where they're not supposed to say what it is. And Emmett starts and he's like, okay, tiny. And the guy's like, pygmy, small, little. And he goes, yes. All right. And he's trying to think of the other word. He goes, oh, Michelle's one. A girl. child. And Michelle's eyebrows are like, what?
Yeah.
Like, and
He lands on little princess.
right. Well, he says, no, she's older. She would be and he says little princess. Like, that makes her older? And that's when the bell rings. And he goes, no, it was Little Women. Like, the clue was Little Women. He goes, oh, maybe next time be a little more specific. And then he pulls a card, smiles.
Yeah, I got it right away.
Oh, yeah, you did. He goes, I know what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I know what you're up to. Yeah, Margot's like, Santa Claus. And Emma starts to panic, like, I don't know what you're doing. And Michelle, to save him from doing anything stupid, like confessing, she goes, you're Santa Claus. And Howard's obviously annoyed because it wasn't her turn. And he's like, I'm keeping that point.
Take that, yeah.
And she's like, oh, well deserved. Yeah, you got that point.
Well, yeah, but yeah, he says it very menacingly. I see you. I know what you're doing. I see you when you're sleeping.
Like, oh, man. Yeah. So later, Michelle's working in the hazmat suit when Howard is coming down. She does her best to hide everything. And when he comes in.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we said it out at this point. But yeah, she's making a hazmat.
Right.
So they can go out into the toxic air.
One of them's supposed to go out.
I guess and like get help or something.
Yeah. They're going to tie Howard up, get his gun away from him. One of them will go out, look for help, and come back to rescue them.
Yeah.
But now Howard says he needs her help with something. She follows him up, and then he calls Emmett down. And he opens this cabinet we didn't even know existed before under the kitchen sink, but on from like the common room side. Yeah. And there's a big barrel in there, and he tells them,
it looks like where you put like IV trash.
Yeah, like a big chemical waste.
Like chemical, definitely a chemical waste bin.
Yeah. So they're like, what is that? And he goes, that's the barrel.
It's the barrel.
He tells them to move it into the bathroom. He opens it up. He tells them it's perchloric acid. It's highly corrosive, and it dissolves most biological material on contact. When Emmett asks why he's showing this, he asks Emmett if he thinks he's an idiot.
Oh, it's also flammable, too.
Okay.
That comes into play later.
Yeah.
Oh, he says it's used for, like, jet fuel and stuff.
Yes.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
And he pulls out some scissors, a tape, and a utility knife, asking them what they were doing with them.
I have to say, he always finds them in their little schemes.
Yeah. And so he starts dumping them in there, and you were like, don't throw away your scissors, man.
Yeah.
You're good.
It's like, I hope he has an extra pair of scissors.
So he's like, hey, Howard, calm down. He's like, hey, you're going to tell me what you're doing with them, or by God, you're going to go in while you're alive to feel it.
Yeah.
In some act of heroism.
Emmett should have used a different lie. But yeah.
He says, it was me. I wanted to make a weapon to get your gun away from you because I see how Michelle looks at you, how she respects you, and I want that respect too. I'm not saying it was right, but I want to apologize. And Howard goes, oh, you apologizing, huh? Okay, well, I accept your apology. And Michelle, you see in her face, she like does this like, whew,
yeah,
like we're fine. But then you see a gun come out, and he shoots him in the head.
I wonder if he had said something. I don't know. It's hard to tell how crazy Howard is or not. Right. You know, like if he had, because he says that he justifies shooting Emmett. Yeah. Because he was threatening. He's going to take the gun and threaten them. He was going to
take the gun and threaten
get them in danger.
I did it to protect you, Michelle.
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas if is that true or not?
Right. If Michelle would have said, I did it, I was trying to get the gun away from you.
Or
he would
if she had said, or she said I was making a hazmat suit. That's why I had the scissors. Instead of ever mentioning the gun or whatever. Who knows?
Or, you know, I love to design clothes, and I wanted to try to figure out a way to do it again.
Like, something.
Like
I
just
don't know.
To live in the afterlife. Yeah. I almost said afterlife.
Design clothes in the afterlife.
Apocalypse. But so Howard runs to hug her, and he says all the things, like, I did it to protect you. Yeah. He says, this is the way it was always meant to be, just you and me.
Yeah, the way they do the scene is you can't quite hear him. It's like her ears are ringing from the gunshot.
And interestingly, even the director didn't remember, but Howard is wearing earplugs, and in the commentary, he's like, everybody says that they could see him wearing earplugs to protect from the gunfire. I did. Like when they brought it up, I focused in, and when he goes to hug her, his head turns enough that you could see the earplug in his left ear, which to me means
he was gonna shoot him.
He was gonna shoot him.
He was already prepared to do it.
He was already prepared to shoot him.
Well, I missed that detail, but there you go. Yeah, so maybe there was nothing they could do.
Yeah. So she goes to her room, and we're seeing some time pass, and we get shots of every room, and it just feels so empty. Like there's so much more space without Emmett there. She's sitting in the area where he used to sleep, looking at his wallet. and she's looking at that bus ticket he talked about earlier.
Yeah, he kept the bus ticket.
That he never went to college. Howard comes down with ice cream, one with a bowl and one with a cone. He says that now they can do whatever they wanted. Like,
I didn't get it that way. I took it as it's the end of the world, so we might as well do what we want.
Okay,
yeah.
It just seemed weird. Like,
yeah, it did sound like he was saying we can eat ice cream because he said we can eat our dessert before dinner because we can do whatever we want now.
Yeah.
Which could be taken that because Emmett's not here. But I just took it as, well, it's the end of the world now, so we can do whatever we want.
But Michelle's obviously not saying anything.
Yeah.
He's like, do you want the bowl or the cone? And then after like 1 second, he goes, Megan, I was liked it in the bowl. She said the cone was too messy. Leaves her the cone. He says, I know this isn't the life you prefer, and it's not easy, but I want us to be a happy family, just you and me. And he says he's
like how it was meant to be or something like that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. He says he's taking care of the mess and he's going to start on dinner. She puts Emmett's bus ticket away, cries a little more, and then goes back to finishing the suit. A little bit later, while she's working on the suit, he calls out for her and she goes to hide it again. Most of the clothes fit under the bed, but the actual helmet itself, she has to hide in the vent. He comes in, he's instantly suspicious of her, and I think it's because she looks sweaty. She's pretending to read, and he tells her supper is ready. And right as he's about to leave, unfortunately, a screw falls out of the vent. She tries to tell him, and it does that all the time. He reaches in there, and he can't
doesn't
see it.
Yeah.
But he turns around, and he sees a little bit of the suit poking out from under the bed. So he tells her to get up. She doesn't want to, so he grabs her by the hair and forces her, throws her up towards the door. He lifts up the mattress to see the suit. He's freaking out. She runs. She closes the door and locks him in and then dumps some of the barrels in it.
I think she grabbed the suits, didn't she, too?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Because
she backtracked. She
backtracked. Right, yeah. So she jumps some of the food barrels in front of the door, and then she runs into his private area and starts trying to grab supplies. What she's going for is that air can that freezes things. When she runs in, she sees that Emmett's still dissolving in like another barrel. It's
it's the same barrel.
No, it was like a square.
Oh, I guess he poured some of it into.
Yeah. And he runs in saying, "Is this how you repay me for saving your life?" And she goes, "No." That says, "This is." He kicks the barrel. It goes under his feet. For some reason, he falls
it does.
forward.
It looks like he just leaps down a little bit, like he just falls over just with no provocation. But I guess we would sense.
I think it burned his feet or something.
Something he tripped. I don't know.
He's screaming.
Yeah.
Then she jumps on the bed, uses the top of the door
she like swings.
to swing out over the acid. And as she's running back to her room to get the suit, we see that the liquid is spread to the power cord for one of the lamps, and it melts right through the plastic and catches on fire.
Yeah.
So she ties the air can with the suit into a wrap, and as she's holding it, she runs out of the room to see Howard standing there. The right side of his face is melted.
Like burned, yeah.
And it looks like it's still eating away at his flesh, and it's kind of smoking. She pulls one of the food shelves on top of him, jumps over it, and the fire has built up so much. I think she was trying to go up the stairs, but she couldn't.
Yeah.
So she goes to the vent again that she did earlier. And as she's crawling through the vent, he starts stabbing with this big knife through the vent, screaming her name, "Michelle, stay with me."
Yeah. And I was like, just keep crawling. She kept stopping. I'm like, just keep crawling, girl.
Yeah, she stops to get one more look at Emmett. Like, there's nothing you can do for Emmett. He's dead.
Yeah.
He's able to grab her foot, but his hand's like all eaten away somewhat. And so she kicks it enough times where it hurts him, and he lets go. She gets to that room that she was in earlier to repair the air vent, and smoke is building up, so she's kind of choking on it.
Oh yeah, I guess we didn't. Maybe we mentioned, and I don't remember that the window or skylight or whatever, you could open it, but it had a lock on it.
It had a lock on it. Yeah, we can talk about the lock.
Well, whatever.
Right.
But because
yeah. So
she's about to go for it.
So she puts on the hazmat suit, tapes it shut.
Gotta
have
that duct tape, man.
Yeah, duct tape is
just
so helpful.
Always have
in
duct
every
tape.
horror movie.
Any single situation, duct tape is going to help you out. You got to have that duct tape.
So then she goes up top. She starts freezing it. She hits it. It doesn't break free, so she freezes it some more, gives it 3 more hits, and then 3 more hits.
Hicks.
Hits, and winds up, gives it one last big hit that does break it.
She does finally break it,
And then in an hour and 24 minutes into the film, she's finally out of this bunker.
She did it. She got it. She's in her little makeshift hazmat suit.
The score
she makes her little helmet out of a bottle, like a plastic soda bottle and like something else.
Yeah,
but she
so
did use like,
there's like air filters on one end.
yeah.
To like, so it has a breathing part that comes out of the left, which is made out of a smaller
Yeah,
plastic bottle.
yeah.
And duct taped on.
It just looks really janky, but she
bent,
made it out of like a survivalist guide or something.
right, things you would find out in your house to survive the
something,
apocalypse kind of stuff. So the score stops completely so that we could just take it in with her. And all of a sudden, the camera aspect switched to like a wider angle.
Because she's like outside.
To feel like, oh, we're free.
We're
It's
free.
outside.
Oh,
We're not cramped anymore.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams said it would have been even cooler if they could have switched to IMAX at this point. But who would film in IMAX for the last 20 minutes?
Yeah.
So she runs to the truck, and as she's frantic, she rips her suit. She starts panicking and duct tapes it shut. And this is where she sees a flying V of birds go by, and they seem safe. So after all this preparation, she just pulls off the mask.
Like 5 minutes after she's gotten free, she's like, I'm good. And I was like, what if the birds are flying over the poison or whatever, you know?
Right.
Like, maybe wait for a squirrel or something, or mouse. I don't know, something crawling on the ground. But nope. But she's fine. Yeah, she's fine.
She's confused but happy and just drops the mask there on the ground. She gets on top of the truck when she hears something, and in the distance she sees something hovering there that doesn't seem natural.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, a big explosion happens behind her. She ducks, and then another explosion happens. This starts to attract the craft to come towards her, and she says, "Oh, come on." Like, how is this possible?
Yeah, so like this whole movie, they're trapped in a bunker. You're like, wait a minute, is something happening or isn't something happening? She gets out and it's like, whoops, aliens.
So she jumps in the truck, but then notices that Leslie's car is still behind her. She goes for it, but when she touches it, the car alarm starts going off, which gets the attention of a creature coming through the cornfield.
It's gotten to be dark now.
Yeah. She runs for the shed, and inside is where Leslie died. She goes and fishes her keys out of the body while that creature is coming for the shed. So it starts to stick its head or tentacle through.
Yeah, unclear if it's wearing like some kind of armor and then it sticks something. I don't know. Unclear.
Yeah.
But it has like some kind of mouthy thing.
Right. And then Michelle beeps the car to turn the car alarm off, which gets the creature's attention, and it runs back towards the car. She uses this like hatch under the ground to start running past the truck towards a house, and the creature starts to follow when a big siren goes off.
Yeah, I said when we got to this part, this movie's really taking a turn because it's gone from this like thriller kind of like what is happening, kind of like trapped in a room with a psychopath killer,
right,
to aliens.
Yeah. And so that big siren rang, and then all of a sudden the creature is nowhere to be found. And she realizes why, because that creature realized that this thing is about to spray some poison gas down.
Mm-hmm.
So she sees above the house that this green poison gas is spraying. She runs back to the truck as fast as possible.
What if you hadn't taken that off, girl? You would be fine.
So she puts the mask back on.
Duct tapes it back on.
As the spray hits her, and she's able to survive that. It doesn't affect her. But then after the spray is gone, the creature comes to the truck. But before she can close the door, it sticks its mouth, tentacle-like thing, into it, grabs her mask, and sucks it away. So now she no longer has the mask. She closes the truck door, but then we see the tentacles from the ship come down and start to grab her up.
It. Yeah, grab the car.
Flies back and hits the back of her head on the glass. And then she finds a lighter stuck in like the truck cushion.
Mm-hmm.
She lights it, sees it still works, sees the alcohol bottle.
Oh,
from
the scotch. I kept being like, when is the scotch going to come back into play?
Just a second ago, we saw that the gas had ignited with one of the flames from the bunker, and it like combusted really well.
Yeah.
So she rips up a road map in the car, stuffs it into the scotch.
Like a Molotov cocktail.
There you go. She rolls down the window. She hangs outside the window, puts it in her right hand. She sees that there's like a mouth coming out of the ship, which seems to inhale when it opens.
Yeah.
And so she waits for it to open, throws it up there, and it sucks the Molotov cocktail right in there, and it
then
explodes.
That was a really good sound effect.
Beautiful. So the truck starts falling, but
Yeah.
the tentacles like break the fall halfway down like twice.
Yeah, she's okay.
So it doesn't hit that hard, and she's barely conscious, but she notices the ship crashing into the cornfield, and it goes on fire.
She like blacks out for a second, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, back in a bunker."
That would have been a turn. She woke up in another bunker.
Yeah, but no, she's still getting attacked by this technical thing.
Right. Then this truck is destroyed.
Yeah.
She goes over to Leslie's car now that she has the keys, gets in the car, puts her seatbelt
Starts it,
on,
yeah.
drives away.
Yes.
As she's driving away, she runs over a mailbox sign, and we see it on the
10
ground. It says-
Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she drives. She hears something coming over the radio, and
Yeah.
she tunes the radio.
The radio's on, but she can't really hear anything. But it's an AM station. She like changes it, and then
Yeah.
she hears a woman speaking, saying like, "We've like."
It says, if you're hearing this and you're not in a safe zone, head north of Baton Rouge. But
yeah.
if you have any medical training or combat experience, we need your help. There are people in Houston. It breaks up a little bit. She hits the brakes.
And they're like, we took back the something like some
we
area.
took back the southern seaboard.
Okay, yeah,
And
and we're winning or something like
We're
that.
winning, but we need your help.
Yeah.
We're at Mercy Hospital in Houston. And so she looks at the sign that says straight to Baton Rouge and left to Houston.
Yeah, you know those classic signs that just all they say is Baton Rouge and Houston.
Well, they should say miles, right? When they say miles,
but
next
also
to it,
like
they would
Baton
say
Rouge and
highways.
Houston. Where are they? The Baton Rouge and Houston.
40 miles.
Wait a minute.
north
Where
of,
do we know what town they're?
They're 40 miles north of.
Let me pull
the
a
city
map
from
out
earlier.
here because I'm like, what? Where is she that there would be such a sign? Let's see, Houston.
In this Cloverfield universe, Margot.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
What?
Because Houston and Baton Rouge are in the same direction. That's my point.
Oh.
They're in the exact same direction, unless they were going opposite. So like,
Yeah.
they're on the same. I know. I've driven that street many times. You have to like.
You're ruining the movie. I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying. Like.
No,
Anyway, but yeah,
but-
one sign says towards Baton Rouge, one sign says to Houston. Yeah.
Right. And so. in
So
this
towards Baton Rouge is safety. Towards Houston is since combat.
Right. So in this epic ending, she turns towards Houston to go help fight because she blew up a ship on her own.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it's this like redemption for when she didn't help the kid. I guess
Maybe, but it's definitely like she has knowledge that maybe they don't have. Maybe they don't know.
maybe.
Like,
Who
certain
knows?
way.
Who knows? But,
But
yeah,
she did get a little bit of medical training. She
Whatever.
can give stitches.
yeah. She
But
just wants to help
it's
out.
just
Yeah.
a heroic moment. She's
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to run away.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Go fight. Yeah.
fight people and help. And it's her way to be like badass.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this birth of a hero movie at this point. And as she's driving that way, we see lightning come in the sky. In the very far distance, there's a small ship, but then really close to where
Yeah,
she's at,
it's a huge
there's
ass
a
ship.
ship. And it looks
Yeah.
like 10 times bigger
Yeah.
than the ones she defeated.
Yeah.
But then the credits roll,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
The end.
The end. A little bit earlier, when she woke up after blowing up that ship, she gets out of the truck and she goes, fuck.
Yeah.
Which is the one
You're allowed to have
F-bomb
one
that they were allowed
PG-13.
for a PG-13 movie, which is awesome.
I mean, did it have to be in there? No.
No, it didn't.
But good for you guys. You got it
Yeah.
in.
Oh, man.
I guess it's like if you can have it, take it. You know, is
Yeah.
that it?
Anything else to say about it?
No, I think it was a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
I didn't find it overly scary. It's
Yeah,
tense, I
it's
guess.
tense.
I assumed she was gonna get free, and also I already knew that it was actually like aliens or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I wonder if going in now, anybody listening to this podcast would also know that. But I wonder if you went into it blind, it would be like more tense to watch it. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
that's
like,
how I went into it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I
oh
didn't-
no, like what's gonna happen?
I
when she
didn't
gets out,
understand how it
you know?
connected at all. Not that at the end of this I understood how it connected, but I felt the themes, right?
Yeah.
Cloverfield was a big monster movie
Mm-hmm.
running through a big city trying to stay alive as this thing was destroying building after building,
Mm-hmm.
eating people. And they're just trying to survive. In this one, it's like there's a big thing that's hard to combat. Same thing, like let's try to, at the end, team together as humanity to try to fight for our Earth.
Yeah.
But the third movie, which I know you haven't seen yet, answers the questions and kind of how it all starts in this multiverse
I
of
see.
chaos.
Yeah, it's interesting because John Goodman, like, he has like a safe spot, but he's also like, it's like, ugh, can you imagine if you like, oh yay, I found this like bunker, we have a lot of food, like we're safe, and it's like, oh no, a psycho. Why?
Right, yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you, Margaret, for being here. If you liked what you heard, we ask that you leave us a 5-star review. It really helps the podcast to grow. If you'd like to follow us on Instagram, we're at Nightmare Echoes Pod. Thank you again, and we release episodes every Monday. All right, bye.
Bye.